special podcast episode for Evolve Magazine podcast. I am joined by a very dear friend, a very special person, Tara Bosch, entrepreneur founder of SmartSweets, and a leader who's redefining what modern consumer brands can look like. What began as a mission to reduce sugar and create a better candy has grown into a globally recognized company challenging an entire industry. And now, in a true full circle moment, Tara is stepping into a role as a guest dragon on Dragon's Den on CBC coming soon. We're going to talk about it. And from pitching her own ideas as a young founder to now investing in and mentoring the next generation of entrepreneurs, it's such a powerful milestone. And in this conversation, we will dive into her journey, the mindset behind building and scaling a mission led company, and what it means to lead, give back, and evolve through every season of life. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Tara Bosch.
Amazing. So excited always to be
I'm
with you, Christina.
I am so excited. It's been a while. Like I said, Tara's
Yes.
a great friend. We met in Vancouver when I was working at CTV. And, when you started Bold Beginnings, I immediately saw I have to have you on. And just reading your full story, it's been so inspiring just watching you grow, even after, your success with SmartSweets. We're going to get right into it, Tara, if you don't mind.
Let's do it.
So you founded SmartSweets with a mission to rethink sugar. What was that moment you knew this idea had to exist in the world?
Yes. And I'm always infinitely grateful for you seeing the Bold Beginnings vision and giving it that platform. And most of all, that it connected us in the
Yes.
world. So
Yes,
with
that was
Smart,
my favorite part.
yeah, me too. It was the universe bringing us together.
Yes, I
Um,
love it.
But yeah, with Smart Sweets, the moment for me was really, I loved candy growing up. I loved it so much, but all the sugar made me feel bad about myself. So I stopped eating it. And many years later, I had a conversation with my grandmother where she shared she also regretted having so much sugar over the years and how it impacts her life. And it was a pause moment for me where I was like, wow, you can go through your whole life and feel bad about yourself because of what you're putting in your body. And I loved enjoying candy with her. It was something that bonded us so deeply over the years. And so it really kicked off this understanding into the impact that excess sugar is having on us as a society, as well as, why can't you feel good about candy? So from that moment, it was so clear to me that Smart Sweets and the mission to kick sugar and keep candy was going to be a global leader in revolutionizing candy, but also in moving the needle on the sugar reduction movement.
And for those who don't know your story yet, how did you go from you started out in your kitchen? How did you go from kitchen experimentation to building a brand that disrupted an entire category? Like how did you go from that to this?
Yeah, the most important thing, honestly, was really like from day one, although I was in my kitchen and it was an idea in my head and nothing in the external world existed, in my mind, so clearly, I visualized, 4 years from now, what the world will look like with Smart Sweets in it, that people across North America and then globally can go to any store, anywhere they shop at, and SmartSweets is the brand delivering on them being able to feel good about having candy every day. So it felt so real in my mind. It already
Mhm.
felt like the end had happened, and now it was just a matter of reverse executing against it. So that clarity of vision and where you're going, it really like cements into your subconscious. And when it feels real in your subconscious, you like take the conscious action, even though it just looks like an idea in your head to the external world.
But where did you get that motivation? Because, for me as an entrepreneur, it's all about getting started, but where did that drive come from?
Yeah, I think for me, like growing up, I really was the person that, didn't have any particular talent in school. I wasn't academically inclined. I wasn't athletic. So I leaned in to working and started at McDonald's when I was 13 and had a full-time job all the way through high school. And I loved like tinkering on ideas. I was obsessed with Dragon's Den growing up, but I never had the confidence to act on an idea or think I was capable. And so when I had grew and had a healthier relationship with food, and then the idea for Smart Sweets came, I felt so grateful because it was the first time in my life I felt called towards something. And I felt like, wow, like all that I am can be in service of this vision larger than myself. So I just felt an immense amount of gratitude that fueled the motivation.
And speaking of Dragon's Den, you are a guest dragon on Dragon's Den special episodes coming up. What was that moment like for you when they called you to be a part of this?
It was a fully surreal, full circle moment. It really, Dragon's Den was how I learned about entrepreneurship and how I remember sitting on my couch and just watching these people walk out there that had these ideas and the courage to act on them and just being in awe of them and thinking truly that I was never going to be capable of that. And so then when I went on the show as a pitcher, um, and my grandmother, who didn't really understand entrepreneurship, her seeing me on Dragon's Den as a pitcher really gave her this appreciation and understanding. And it was what really inspired her to be like, wow, this is something really special and cool. And she got all of her friends to watch it and watched it over and
Yeah.
over. So then having this full circle moment and the opportunity to actually come back and show up for others who are watching from their couch, like I once was, and to show up for the other Canadian entrepreneurs that came on the show, it was just an immense amount of gratitude I had, and just a very surreal moment.
And being alongside those other amazing guest dragons who are all Canadians who have done amazing as well. That's a good
Yeah.
group to be in.
Yeah, each and every one of them I'm so inspired by, and everyone's journeys. I think what's really cool is that we've all had different journeys in different verticals and had different backgrounds, but it's all led us to feeling so passionate about showing up for others and really using our voice to empower the generation that's coming behind us to know that they're infinitely capable of acting on their ideas and that their ideas are so needed in the world. And so it was a huge blessing to be able to share that experience with them.
I can't wait to watch it. I can't wait. And also like just there's always so many businesses, amazing entrepreneurs, and you can just hear their, heart when they're pitching.
Yeah.
That, they give their heart and soul into the pitch. They prepared for it. You see the emotions. I'm sure you remember when that was you back then. Let's talk about scalability. What mindset shifts um, that helped you to be in the founder mode? Because for me as an entrepreneur, scaling is the hardest part. What would be your
Yeah.
advice to entrepreneurs, when it comes to scaling a company?
I mean, I think the biggest thing that can be really grounding from my perspective or journey has been, to your point, there's a million different things that you need to focus on, that you need to do. It's so overwhelming. And I think just grounding back in your consumer, like who are you creating the most radical value for? What do they want? How can you impact their lives positively through your product? But then also using that as a filter for how you show up for them.
Mhm.
I find that incredibly grounding and simplifying when there's a million shiny balls, a million things that you have to do, and just being like, what do I need to do today to show up for who our vision is existing in the world to serve?
And what were you looking for in particular when you sat on that chair?
Yeah, I think above all, I think, and you said it as well, I think it's so clear when you're talking to someone who has a why so deeply embedded in them that they are going to move mountains and go through what's going to come their way in order to bring that vision to life. So most of all, it was A, clarity of vision and where they're going, and B, having that deeper why
Mhm.
into why they feel called towards bringing that vision to life. Because in the hard moments, which I know you and I both know, they come hard and fast. That's what keeps you getting out of bed. Yeah.
And speaking of hardship, was there a failure that ended up being essential to your success?
Oh, I'm sure you have so many of these stories
Oh yeah.
too. I mean, it's I think in ev like I feel on like entrepreneurship is like akin to rolling a ball up a mountain that can come and crush you at any time. There's this quote and it says it's like says a person's on a lion and the people watching him are like, "Wow, how did he get on this lion? That's amazing." And he's thinking to himself, "How the hell did I get on a lion and how am I going to stop myself from being eaten?" And I
Yeah.
think that's
Yeah.
entrepreneurship in a nutshell where um, I'd like to reframe it to be like, as something that feels hard is something that's worth doing. And so all
Mhm.
of the challenges are actually opportunities hidden in disguise. For me, super early on, one of them that was fundamental, but felt like the world was crashing down at the time. We were supposed to launch on shelves in a month, and then our manufacturer pulled out. And they
Wow.
were the only manufacturer who would do the lower minimums that I had cash for to bring the product to life. And so I spent Christmas Eve LinkedIning people on LinkedIn because I thought I would have to try and raise money to find a manufacturer that had minimums I needed the new amount of cash for. And nobody was interested in trying the product, but the feedback that I got was, oh, Stevie Sweets, which was the company's name,
Mm.
had a negative connotation to stevia. So it was the insight that made me pause and be like, oh, Stevie Sweets actually isn't like resonating emotionally for people. So I changed the company name to SmartSweets. And I think had I not done that, Stevie Sweets would have never became SmartSweets.
I like SmartSweets better. And I think I
Ew.
sent you, I don't know if you got my my post that I shared with you, but Kim Kardashian, I even mentioned
Oh yeah.
SmartSweets. That was really cool. And so many other celebrities. It's really out there, and congratulations on that. But Tara, there's, building a business, but there's also building a business with purpose. Tell me
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah, I know it's something we both share a passion for. I mean, um, I think that when you act out of a place of wanting to be in service of something larger than yourself and creating positive impact in the world, I think whatever you believe in, but the universe, there's really something that supports you in doing that. And I think through building Smart Suites, I had all these insecurities and self-doubt and imposter syndrome the whole way through. It was the same feelings, whether I was in my kitchen or running the company at 100 million plus in revenue. And it made me really passionate about empowering other women in their journeys and
Mhm.
normalizing the conversation around those things. And so I think there's like being in service of others through the product that you're creating in the world and your vision. And then I think there's being in service of others, of showing up for others.
Mhm.
And showing up for women with big ideas was something I became really passionate about through my Smart Suites journey. And I think it's so important in today's world more than ever to know and show through example that you can lead with kindness, authenticity, humility,
Mhm.
awkwardness if you're awkward like I am, and you can build something incredible while doing it.
One thing I admire about you is you always stay true to who you are. Like I said, you're from the moment I interviewed you on CTV, I just know that everything comes from the heart, and you can tell, that you just love what you do. And speaking of giving back, bold beginnings, tell us about that. Why did you start it?
Yeah, I feel the same way about you.
Oh.
Bold beginnings, yeah, it really came from, when I was building, I thought I was the only one that felt these things in my day to day where like I would just question myself and get in my loop of self-doubt and just be in these situations where I'd be like, am I really am I really capable? And I had to work on that every day through, I called it mind fuel, but listening to different podcasts, listening to those cheesy motivational tracks that are like, you are oh, you can do anything that sound like a movie trailer. Um, but through my journey, I learned that actually everyone feels those feelings in their journey, especially women in the unique things they navigate in entrepreneurship. And so I really wanted to use my journey to be a voice for others to normalize that. Because in my beginning days of SmartSweets, if someone I identified with in some way was like, oh, yeah, I felt like an imposter in all these situations, and that's fine, just keep moving forward. I wouldn't have felt so alone in those feelings. And so that's really where Bold Beginnings came from. The premise of it is to empower women to know they're infinitely capable of bringing their ideas to life and make them feel supported and seen and heard in all those feelings that we all feel.
And what was the feedback like of the participants? Because I've seen the videos of your retreats. They look so
Mhm.
fun, and everyone's just like a family and just having a blast. What has the feedback been like?
Yeah, I think the women that have been in the cohorts, the consistent feedback has been, above all, that they leave Bold Beginnings feeling like they have known the other women in the cohort and myself and the other mentors for a long time, and that there's just like a deep bond there where, when they're in those moments where they're like, shoot, I just need to call someone, there's that closeness where they know that someone's going to be on the other line of that phone picking it up and they're not alone. And so I think that bond and community is what I'm most proud of.
Yeah, everyone seems so happy. I wanted to be there. It looks so fun.
Aw, you're always welcome.
So, and Tara, we're both mom of girls,
Yeah.
and you became a mother later on after everything happened with SmartSuite. Did that change your perspective, and how has that influenced you when it comes to leading and building your company? I remember when I invited you for the interview. You wanted to bring your daughter to the studio because you just wanted, she's so
Yeah.
little. I was like, well, she's so little, and we were renovating
Yeah.
then, so I said it's not safe. But
Yeah.
you just want her to be with you when you're doing all these things, right? Tell me about that.
Yeah, I think in building Smart Suites, my grandmother was really my deeper why in the world, and that transcended to my daughter now being my deeper why in the world. And I think what she's really inspired me to do, and I've seen the same through how you show up for your daughter, is she's really inspired me to really be intentional about taking up space in the world and using my voice to show up for the women and the girls and all the people that come behind us, and really looking at her every single day and seeing how she absorbs and takes in everything in the world. It's made me so much more intentional to say, how can I use my journey to be in service of those that will come behind us, and being unapologetic about taking up space in the world to show up for others.
And that's really the best way, isn't it? Just to be the role model for our own children. Yeah, they
Yeah,
can have other role models, but if it starts at home, and just the most rewarding part too, about being a mom is just watching them grow and evolve and then adapting and absorbing everything that you're teaching them. That's just the most blessed gift. And my daughter's 21 now. You have a long way to go. She's only 5. But but you've already started her like at such a young age, and watching you do all these things. Like, what does she say? Does she go, what are you doing, mama? Or what is she, has she said anything that's like
yeah.
made you think that she's like, oh, okay, I guess she thinks I'm cool?
There's I mean, you've been around the bend, so you have, I'm sure, so much more to share as well. But I mean, so much. There's been a lot of special moments where I'm like, you know what? Like at Bold Beginnings, the latest cohort at the
She was
pit.
there.
Yes, she was
I
there.
saw that.
Yeah, and at the pitch portion of the day, she
Yeah.
said, I want to go first with my idea. And her idea was like doing this little
No.
rolling on the floor in front of everyone, which was like very, very cute. And so, and she also knows and talks a lot about, encouraging others to know that they can act on their ideas. She's had these little pitch competitions with her friends where they share an idea, why it's what it's going to cost, how it's helping people in the world. And so just I've seen in her that she has that foundational understanding that her ideas matter, they're important and needed in the world, and that she's uniquely incredible and amazing and the right person to bring her ideas to life.
Oh, she's already pitching at 5. Imagine what she can do later on. She's so special. I
She
love it.
is. She really is.
And so how do you also support other initiatives as well? I'm sure aside from Bold Beginnings, do you have any things in mind when it comes to supporting causes? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, another thing that I've really become passionate about through my journey is like showing up for other
Yeah.
moms. I'm a single mom, and I had the blessing of resource
Mm,
in being able to raise Willa, and it's just really, really like unfathomable to me. I don't know how moms who or just single parent households or households in general that are in lower socioeconomic thresholds, like how they do it, the juggle of all of the things. And so that's something I've also
hard.
become really passionate about supporting and showing up for through the journey of having Willa.
Yeah, there's really no such thing as balance, isn't it? We only do our best to show up all the time and yeah, just keep going.
Yeah,
It's really hard to achieve the balance, isn't it?
100%. No, all parents I and mamas I admire deeply.
Do you think, Tara, that philanthropy is something you think founders should really build into their companies from day one?
Yeah, above all, I think like being grounded and being like, how can I be a steward and in service of something much larger than myself? And I think that can show up in so many different ways. There's so many different structures. Some companies have like a couple cents per product that they donate, or different initiatives on a quarterly basis they do a team, or like there's so many different ways that can manifest. But I think
Mhm.
having the priority of intention to be in service of something larger than yourself, and how we're also showing up in the world that is treating the world and our planet with kindness, I think is
Mhm.
a really important foundation that yeah, everybody should have at their forethought.
It just makes it more meaningful, isn't it? Like when I created Evolve magazine, I have no idea where it's going to go. I just wanted to create. I wanted to provide a platform to educate, inspire, and empower people. That really is why I created Evolve magazine. But and that's really it, and then the good will come, you know what I mean, if you just stick to the values that you believe in. I really believe in that, and yeah, like it's all about purpose for me. Like I don't think I can wake up not having a purpose. It just makes life more exciting and more meaningful to wake up with a purpose and giving back, and always have that in the back of your head when you're doing really anything, not just business. You know what I mean? We
I
all need help. The world needs help. There's so many people in need and so many issues around the world. So if each person has that mentality, I think it could make a big difference.
I agree. It's those micro moments in your day-to-day life, and what you've created. It's like it's so powerful. Is it in the name itself, like evolve, and just like the way that you're showing up for others, in service of that.
And do you have any mentors specifically that helped, shape your voice and your path?
Oh my gosh, so many. I mean, I think it's
Yeah.
like it's another piece to that lens of so many people showed up for me. So it's like
What
of
would be
course.
your top three mentors right now?
Yeah, in the early days of SmartSweets, I had the fortune of meeting a few incredible humans that became mentors, but also family, really through that journey, and have remained that way today. Judy Brooks is a woman. She's incredible. She has a platform called Immerse Yourself, where she shows up for others through retreats and But she also really helped me to trust listening to my heart whisper and my gut instinct and just leaning into my inner power that we can sometimes forget about or get lost in or question ourselves in. And it's been a constant reminder of me for that. Scott Semmel, he's an incredible human. He scaled a company called Bark Thins and sold that to Hershey's. He was along with me in the SmartSweets journey, and we were made close today as well. Um, and then honestly, I'd say like all of like my mama friends that have been this village and community of support in raising Willa. When Willa was a baby, I had no friends that were moms. So I was like
Mm.
going up to moms on like the grass at parks and being like, "Hi, like, want to be friends?" And so I'm so grateful for that group now that has really we show up for each other in a way that just makes me feel so supported and seen in the motherhood journey as well.
That's amazing. And what keeps you grounded when everything is moving so fast? I'm sure things are moving fast right now for you. You got a lot going on. How do you stay
Yeah.
grounded?
Oh my gosh, I'd love to ask you the same question. I mean it's like I think what grounds me at the end of every day is Willa.
Yeah,
And
I was
whenever
gonna say
yeah,
Danica as well.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah. Because it's
same.
like when you're just with them, like, and just really with them, it's like, that's the most grounding thing ever. Like, at her age now of almost 5, it's like sitting and like staring at the grass or the sky or riding our horses. Like, there's something about that that just forces you to slow down and just stare into their soul and just see all of their amazingness and the present moment.
I know, just watching Danica grow up in front of my eyes and just her pursuing her passions and, just, thriving. I mean, that's really all we want as moms, right? For our
Yeah.
kids. That's really the joy right there. Forget about the and their health too, right? So, forget about success and money. I mean, that's all great, but at the end of the day, family is really what matters. I mean, to me, at least, I'm sure to you as well. But yeah, it's my daughter too. When life is going too fast, I just like she helps me stay grounded as well. Um, and how do you define your purpose right now at this stage of your life, Tara?
Mm. I mean, I always like my purpose. I just honestly always feel called to wherever the universe can guide me, where I'm in service of others. I'm actually back as well now in building and bringing a vision to life, and so that launches across North America in June.
That's exciting. Are you able to tell us a little bit more, or do we have to wait in June?
Yeah, I'm happy to share the different potatoes. And so last year, Willa was obsessed with what she called the yellow chips. They were
Uh-huh.
these chips, and I had this moment where I was just like, we have this entire pantry of incredible snacks, and how are we still eating these chips? And so I did a deep dive into the salty snacks category, and it really felt similar to how the candy category was when I started SmartSweets. And so the vision really to innovate the everyday snack for a new generation started. Yeah, and so now we have we're fully vertically integrated. We have our own manufacturing plant
Oh
called
my gosh.
come June, you'll be able to find Snackish, which is the brand's name,
I love it.
across North America in stores.
Congratulations. And just like that, you have another brand.
I mean, it's never that easy. In the background, it's the same. It's
I
the
know,
same
but does
rolling
it get
ball.
easier for you though? Because you've done it already. So was this easy this time around with Snackish?
I don't think it gets easier. I think there were some things, there were easier yeses because of the track record of
Yeah.
Smart in the team, but also much higher stakes. We're launching this time across North America within driving distance of every household. They'll be able to find Snackish come June. And so different pieces also that I think the most grounding thing is, and I don't know if you feel this way as well, but once you've been through it once, you
Hmm.
know that the hardness, that those are all moments that are meant to happen and that you can solve through it. And so your nervous system, I have found, is less like the world is on fire because you have the foresight to be like, you know what, this is an opportunity hidden in disguise. We're going to figure it out. And you need to really keep your emotional energy in order to solve.
Oh my gosh. So you have the sweet, now you have the salty. That's
Yeah.
amazing. I'm so excited. So it launches in June, snackish all over Canada and the US.
Yeah, US and Canada,
Oh my
end to
God.
end, coast to coast. Yeah.
So inspired by Willa.
Yeah, she was the why. She knows she's a very important member of the Snackish team. She comes to retailers.
Yep. And
She's
she's
yeah.
taste tested it for
Oh
you.
yeah.
Okay,
Oh
so
yeah.
it's Willa approved.
Oh yes, very important.
That is so cool. I'm sure when she's, grown up, she'll be like, "Oh my gosh, I helped my mom create this."
Yeah, it truly couldn't have happened without her. So
Oh
she,
my
yeah,
gosh. So first your grandmother and then your daughter. How special is
yeah,
that?
yeah.
What does legacy mean to you, Tara?
Mm, I mean, honestly, I think it's like at the end of the day, leaving, for me at least, it feels like leaving the world better than when you entered it in whatever way that's in service of it. So different for all of us. But I think life is so short. I
Yeah.
know kids give such context to that of just how short it is, but I think just truly waking up every day with gratitude and really just the intention
Mhm.
of showing up for others and in service of something larger than yourself. And that's where I think the opportunity with Dragon's Den, that's why it felt
Mhm.
so heart-centered
Yep.
because it felt like I know what it's like to sit on a couch and be riddled with self-doubt and insecurity and all these things, but to have that idea and that spark within you. So to be able to be in service of helping others to listen to their heart whispers is something that means a lot to me.
That's so amazing that you got to do that. And is this something that you're going to continue doing, helping, fund businesses and help women entrepreneurs, not only women, but entrepreneurs in general?
Yeah, absolutely. It's something I feel extremely passionate about now, and also through the lens of being in service, with SmartSweets. It's not lost on me every day the blessing that that foundation gave me of resource. So to now
Yeah,
be able to to back other Canadian entrepreneurs and to
it's
be a
amazing.
woman that's putting funds back into the ecosystem and supporting. I think it also it's something I feel really called to and am extremely passionate about showing up for others in that way because at the end of the day, to scale a vision, you do need capital. So.
And speaking of legacy, lastly, when people hear the name Tara Bosch, what do you hope they associate it with beyond your business success?
Oh wow, that's such a good question. I mean, I just hope that I'm associated with at the end of the day just like a feeling, not even a word so much as just like a feeling when you think of someone and you're like, they inspired me in some way to live my best life.
Yeah.
Just in general. Or yeah, I think just that feeling where you're like, wow,
Mhm.
that person like really impacted my life in some way from afar or from up
Mhm.
close. In passing, like to your point of what you said earlier, it's like even those micro moments where like you don't even know the stranger's name, but they
Mhm.
smile at you. The other day in this coffee shop, Willa got a sprinkle cookie and the man was like, it's on the house. And
Oh,
like that's something when I think of through the words of legacy, like he inspired me that in that moment, like how he's choosing to show up and the lens that he views the world and that impacted Willa too. And so I think that's the feeling I want
did
people to
Willa
feel.
did Willa understand what on the house means?
Yes, I know. I had to give like the context that she's like, wait, do we place that somewhere? And like, but she said in the car, she was like, oh, that's so kind. Like, that's so kind. Like, he
She
filled
said
my
that. That's so kind.
Yeah.
Oh, I love
Yeah.
that she talks like that. And you nailed it, when you said about gratitude. Honestly, when times are hard, it's you go back to gratitude and it's a game changer. You know what I mean? We're alive, we're here, we've got what we need, we're in a great country, and it just goes back to gratitude. That also helps me stay grounded. So,
Yeah.
and I believe in it. Waking up with gratitude each morning, first thing that I do, it just changes the game for me,
Yeah.
changes my day, that
Absolutely.
perspective.
I agree. It's the most just like the odds to be born, like or to have arrived and been have the opportunity to live in Canada. It is some that alone is like I know I think of like my grandmother's journey and what she had to do just so that I ended up being born
Yeah,
here and to have all these opportunities that we have in Canada. That alone is something that like every day it's never lost on me how lucky we are.
absolutely. Well, you know my story. I was given a second chance to live here
Yeah,
in Canada, coming from a third world country surrounded by poverty. I grew up in a domestic violent home. Coming out of that and being where I am today. So even times get tough, as an entrepreneur or whatever, I go back to, hey, looking at where I came from
yeah,
is, this is great, the life we have. So it just takes me back, just having gratitude and really appreciation, of whatever I have. So, but thank you so much for your time. I know you're so busy. I can't wait to see you next week.
I know, me too. I'm so excited to
Uh,
give you a hug.
Tell us when the episodes are airing. You got two episodes airing.
Yes, the episodes air February 26th and March 5th on CBC and CBC Gem.
And what are you most excited about, Tara?
I'm
About
most
the show?
I'm most excited about that girl that's, sitting on her couch or woman or just a person in general that, is teetering and being like, I feel
Mm,
called to this, but they're stacking up in their minds the reasons why they can't do it or it won't work and that they can see those episodes and watch the panel of us dragons and be like, wow, I see a part of myself in them, and if
yeah.
I did it, then I can too.
It's going to be special episodes. I can't wait to watch. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, Christina.
Really appreciate it. Luxury innovation and German engineering, Liebherr sets the standard for premium refrigeration. Designed for performance and precision, Liebherr appliances offer advanced cooling technology, sleek designs, and unmatched reliability. Whether it's for a wine storage solution, column-style cooling, built-in, freestanding, or under counter, Liebherr delivers the ultimate freshness experience for your kitchen. Discover the excellence of Liebherr refrigeration today. Visit ela.ca to learn more. Evolve Media offers premium video production services specializing in creating high-impact content for brands, events, and commercials. From concept to execution, we craft engaging visual narratives that resonate with your target audience. We have teams in Toronto, Vancouver, Montreal, and Calgary. And in today's digital-first world, video content is more important than ever. It's the most effective way to capture attention, build brand loyalty, and drive conversions. Thank you so much for watching and listening in. I hope you enjoyed it, and I can't wait to share with you our next guest. But for now, I hope you can follow and subscribe. Thanks for your support.